prepared to join other countries for the observance of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And the home front charts, military-led government has issued an amnesty to security forces responsible for killing at least 50 opposition protesters. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. President George has challenged members of the joint presidential transition team to demonstrate a high degree of honesty and love of the country in their deliberations for the smooth transfer of power from the outgoing to the incoming government. President we are addressing the inaugural of the JPTT Friday at the Executive Mansion said it was important to put the national interest first and carry the spirit of unity and sources that brought Liberians to this transitional period, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing the interest of Liberia. The president drew attention to the peaceful transfer of power 6 years ago, saying that Liberia made history as the first democratically elected leader to receive power from another leader after more than 70 years. The president employed a team to ensure an effective, efficient, and unified transfer of power to President Boakai and his team. The president added that the first meeting of the JPTT and all that will follow carried immense significance for Liberia's democratic legacy and national history. The president noted that a successful transition, professionally orchestrated, would not only shape the trajectory of Liberia, but would positively influence peace, security, stability, and future prosperity. President Weah also weighed on the outgoing of the 2023 general and presidential elections as a living testament to the democratic process Liberia has achieved as a country. According to him, the conduct of the elections, the first post-war elections solely organized by the government and people of Liberia, has won international acclaim from far and wide for their excellence. He emphasized how his administration is proud in reinforcing Liberia's credentials as a mature democracy that will govern by strong institutions with respect for the rule of law. For his part, President-elect Joseph Boakai is cautioning the newly selected joint presidential transition team to ensure the smooth transitioning of power consistent with the mandate of the term. Boakai, who was formally declared winner of the November 14 elections by the National Elections Commission, described those selected by President George Weah to serve on the joint presidential transition team as citizens he believes can work in the best interest of the country. President-elect Boakai also appreciated President George Weah for issuing Executive Order 123, thus setting up a joint presidential transitional team. At the same time, Liberia President-elect Joseph Boakai has named members of his transitional team ahead of the country's inauguration in January. He said it is consistent with Executive Order 123 setting up the joint presidential transitional team. The Liberian president-elect designated the vice president-elect to act as co-chairperson in his absence to oversee all affairs of the joint presidential transitional team and conduct a meeting. He also appointed Amos to serve as a member of the Secretariat, along with Councillor Koba Crowd and Amara Conan. The Liberian president-elect named Lucinin Kamara, Louis Porto, Jera Copan, Dr. Urek Yakpaworo, and Samuel Kofi Woons II. Others are Dr. Augustine Conan, Weman Kamara, Reverend Luther Tarpet, Dabla Babla, Edward Appleton, John Molu Jr., and Sam Gay. The Liberian president-elect also named Sir Jonin Noah Zau Gibson, Sarah Beslo Yanti, Wemin Harris Colley, Wilmot Pitt, and Jacob Smith. Liberia is expected to join other countries for the observance of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. The 16 days of activism is an international campaign that is commemorated to reinforce, elevate, and collaborate efforts intended to end all forms of violence against women and girls. Speaking Friday in a pre-launch press conference, Gender with the Milan City Chart said Liberia is honored the leadership of President George Weah has made significant gains in ending the surge of violence against women and girls. According to her honored the Weah-led government, the Ministry of Gender has actively contributed to legislative reforms aimed at strengthening laws against gender-based violence. This year's 16 days of activism is expected to be launched this Saturday, November 25, and will be commemorated under the global theme, Unite, Invest to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls. The ceremony of the launch of the 16 days of activism will be held at the SKD Gymnasium under the national theme, Empower Women, Secure Our Nation. The founder of the Dominion Christian Fellowship, Archbishop Isaac Winkard, is applauding Liberians for sustaining the peace and the success of the just ended presidential and legislative elections. Archbishop Isaac Winkard is expected as expressing condolences to the family of those who lost their lives in the recent vehicle attack at the Unity Party headquarters. Archbishop Isaac Winkard extends gratitude to the international community, the United Nations, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the European Union, the African Union, the United States government, and other members of the diplomatic community and other partners for their support to the electoral process. He further thanked President George Weah for exhibiting such a high degree of statesmanship by accepting the election's result prior to the official results. Bishop Winkler is extending congratulations to the President-elect Ambassador Joseph Boakai on his election and wishing the best in his administration. The Grand Mufti of the Supreme Court of Fatwa has commended the Liberian people for the peaceful manner they conducted themselves in the just ended October 10 and the November 14 polls in the country. Sheikh Abubakar Sumaro also praised President-elect Joseph Boakai for his victory in the November 14 presidential runoff elections and cautioned him to prioritize reconciliation among the Liberian people. Addressing the press conference in Monrovia, Sheikh Sumaro also hailed President George Weah for accepting the results of the elections. According to him, President Weah's acceptance of the results of the election has raised the profile of Liberia's democracy among the Committee of Nations. The chairman emeritus of the National Patriotic Party has lauded President George Weah for conceding defeat to President-elect Joseph Boakai of the Unity Party in the presidential runoff elections. Chief Cyril Allen, who is also a member of the Governing Council of the Coalition for Democratic Change, said President Weah's decision to accept defeat to the Unity Party flag bearer has put him another political mark on the continent and the world at large. Speaking in an interview with this station, Chief Allen noted that he and other politicians will continue to checkmark the Unity Party government on their shortcomings as they did to the CDC government when they were in opposition for the last 6 years. And off the home front, Chad's military-led government has issued an understatement to security forces responsible for killing at least 50 opposition protesters. In 2022, people took to the streets to oppose interim president Mohamed Idris David Indo extending his rule. The authorities responded with a brutal crackdown, which officials said left 50 people dead on what has been called Black Thursday. Human rights groups put the number of deaths much higher, at more than 300. Over 600 people were arrested, including 83 minors, and sentenced in mass trial. To end this news, a recap of our top stories. President George Weah has challenged members of the Joint Presidential Transition Team to demonstrate a high degree of honesty and love for country in their deliberations for the smooth transfer of power from the outgoing to the incoming administration. Liberia's president-elect Joseph Boakai has named members of his transitional team ahead of the country's inauguration in January. Liberia is expected to join other countries for the observance of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And our Front Chart's military-led government has issued an honesty to security forces responsible for killing at least 50 opposition protesters. That's RCR News Bulletin at 7. I'm Josh Bowen. Good evening.
When it comes to communication in Liberia, Orange is number one.
Orange is the best! Orange is the best! Oh, Orange is the best!
Orange is the best!
Strongest network, widest coverage.
Orange is the best!
Fastest internet speed.
Orange is the best!
People, Orange is the best! Yes! Orange is the best!
Lavakite, Naratama, what is the woo? Company Guinea, that's the people got Orange. Top of number one. So we need to.
Company Tita, Orange, I don't got the best.
Orange will more you the telephone on phone.
Reliable, trusted, and dependable.
Orange is about 7. Yeah, Orange is
Orange is the best!
It's all about what matters to you. Orange.
Let me make sure I got all the sanitary items I need. I'm checking my list. Oh yes, one more item. Let me have a big bottle of Dettol, yeah, across the board.
Yes, the total amount is 3,000 LD.
Okay, let me give you your money. Hey, my people, I can't find my purse. Lola, I left it on my kitchen table. My husband is rushing me too much. What's I will do now?
Don't worry, Costa Homo. You can pay with your phone. Here's the code here on the wall.
Awesome. Yes, I do have money on my phone.
With Orange Money, making payments for goods at your favorite store with your merchant is as easy as ABC. Dial *144#, select currency, select Pay with Orange Money, and follow the instructions. With Orange Money, life is easier. No stress.